Hey YouTube, it's your boy Kenrick here again, aka the Optometry Prodigy. And guys, it's Friday. I'm coming at you with another video. This week, guys, we're going to be focusing on the extraocular muscles. We're going to be talking specifically about its insertions as well as its origins, guys. So let's jump right into it. Okay, guys, so let's get into it, right? So firstly, let us identify um the muscles themselves. So we have 7 extraocular muscles. We are going to be focusing on 6 of them. The one we'll be leaving out is called the levator palpebral superioris. We're just leaving that out for now. We're going to focus on the ones that actually move the eyeball itself. So let's start at the lateral part here. So firstly we have what we call the lateral rectus muscle. Lateral rectus muscle. Then we have the inferior rectus muscle, and then the medial rectus. Superior here as well, superior rectus muscle. And of course, we then have the oblique muscles. So this one here, simple, it's in the inferior oblique muscle. Then we shall have, that's cute, the superior oblique. What a lovely handwriting we have here. So guys, these are the 6 muscles that we will be focusing on. So let's look now at their origins. So when we're looking at the origins here, let's focus firstly on the rectus muscles. The rectus muscles, as you can see, as we stated before, the lateral rectus, you could call that LR, the medial rectus, MR, the inferior rectus, IR, and the superior rectus muscle. And this one behind here is actually that levator palpebral superioris there as well. Good. So these 4 muscles here, the rectus muscles, they actually come out from what we call the annulus of Zinn, or sometimes called the common tendinous ring or the annular ring. So guys, this here is where these 4 rectus muscles originate from. We have a lot going on there, the annulus of Zinn. However, we'll just focus on where the origins for these muscles are. The next muscle we can talk about here is the superior oblique. And the superior oblique is actually attached to the what we call the lesser wing of the sphenoid bone. So over here we have the greater wing of that sphenoid bone, but here we have the lesser wing of the sphenoid bone, and the superior oblique is attached there. That's the anatomical origin. The physiological origin actually comes from what we call the trochlear, which is a pulley system for that superior oblique muscle. In the other image, you will see the trochlear I'm talking about. The next muscle is our inferior oblique. The inferior oblique muscle, it arises or originates from the a depression, a shallow depression in the maxillary bone itself. So this here is the maxillary bone, and there's a depression there which the muscle originates from. So that's our origins. Let's look now at some of the incisions themselves. So firstly, for the incision, or before I speak about the incision, this is the trochlear I was speaking about. It's a pulley system for the superior oblique muscle. So this is the trochlear. So I'm spelled with the R, so the R as well. So Now let's look at the origins. So firstly, let's start with the horizontal muscles, which is the lateral rectus and the medial rectus. Um, the closest muscle to the cornea itself is actually the medial rectus. The next muscle closest to the cornea will be the inferior rectus below here. Then we have the lateral rectus, and the furthest away is actually our superior rectus. And where these muscles insert into the eyeball, it is actually called the spiral of Tillux. So this here, spiral of of Tillux. And guys, one thing to note about this though, this superior rectus muscle and the inferior rectus muscle, they are actually inserted in the eyeball at angles. So the superior rectus, it actually is medially oblique at about 23 degrees. The inferior rectus is about 23 degrees laterally oblique. So now let's move on to the superior rectus and the inferior rectus muscles. Where do they insert into the eyeball? The superior oblique muscle, it actually inserts to the eyeball superior, posterior, and temporal. So it's at an angle as well. 51 degrees, the literature would say. The inferior oblique, it actually is more laterally oblique in the lower temporal quadrant. So it's more off to the back at the side behind the lateral rectus muscles there. So let's see it from the side view. So as you can see it here, we have this will be the lateral rectus. And here we have the inferior oblique. So it's laterally obliquely inserted into the eyeball in this lower temporal quadrant here. That's the inferior oblique you see at the bottom there. We have the superior oblique here. As I said, superior posterior temporal quadrant. And we have the superior rectus, which is at the top here. So this will be medially obliquely inserted, the inferior rectus laterally obliquely inserted. So guys, that's your origins and your incisions there for the extraocular muscles. Next week, we will look at the actual movement of the eye with these muscles. So you'll see the movement or the actions carried about by these muscles, extraocular muscles. So guys, have a great week ahead. I am out for now. Peace.